Hi, I'm Shelly. So I recreate recipes every Tuesday on my Instagram page. You can follow my Instagram page _buju. I do that every Sunday and post every Tuesday on my Instagram page. But today I decided to make a whole video for my YouTube page, which is Shelly Unpacked. I want to recreate a recipe my mom used to make us when we were young. On Christmas, she used to make all these meals, but there's this special one that I liked. It's called a croquette. So she used to make it in form of a bowl, as you can see up here. But I'm deciding to make croquette biscuits because I don't have a deep fryer, so I'm going to use a flat pan. And I think for it to cook well, I'm going to do well with biscuits. So these are the ingredients that you're going to need. You're going to need some mincemeat. You're going to need a white onion. I couldn't get a white onion today morning for some reason. I think they're out of stock where I stay, so I'm deciding to use a red onion, but I'm going to dry it real good. You can use whatever spices you want. I'm choosing the cumin spice. I prefer cumin on my meat. You're going to need some Royco cubes. I'm using 2. You're going to need some salt. This is a packaging from a friend of mine. I bought honey from her. She's called Mbonari Naturals. I'm going to leave her details in my description box below. And you're going to need a Ajinomoto. So I couldn't get the other Ajinomoto, the one that has the Chinese things, you know, the one that has the Chinese writing, the red one with the red packaging. So I decided to get this. It's written Ajinomoto. I think it will serve the same. It's also called Halisimoto if you cannot get Ajinomoto. You're going to need some oil. This is the flat pan I was talking about. That's why I'm going to be making the biscuits. You're also going to be using baking powder. You need some breadcrumbs and some flour. So let me show you the method now. Onto your saucepan, add your mincemeat, add some water and bring it to boil. You're also going to add in some salt. Onto another saucepan, you're going to add in your onions. Remember, there should be white onions. I'm using this because I couldn't get the white onions. So you add in your white onions and let them just cook until they're completely dry. You have to let them be dry, so you're not adding in any water. You're just, you know, onions have a lot of water, so we're just doing this to ensure that we don't have any water in the onions, since they're going to be added onto the mince. With this, you also add in some salt, just a little, since you already have some salt in the beef. And since we're also using Royco cubes, adding in a lot of salt onto the meat or the onions is not a good idea. I'm going to cook this until it's completely dry. So as you can see, my onions are completely dry. Kindly note, I'm not browning the onions. I'm just ensuring there's no water in the onions. So this is ready. So I'm going to wait until my meat is tender. You add in the onions when the meat is dry, okay? Wow. So first of all, I'm going to take off this bone, because you don't need to use bones when you're preparing this recipe. And as you can see, the water is all dried up. So I'm going to be adding in the onions. Our dried onions, we add them onto the beef. and you mix that up. So I'm going to start by adding in the Ajinomoto, and I'm just thinking, since the meat is not so much, I'm going to be using 1 cube in this, and I'm also going to be adding in cumin seeds, 1/8 of the cumin seed. Mix this up with all this. So as you do this, just ensure that your heat is on low heat, because if you have the normal heat on, your meat might overcook, and I don't think it will augur well with whatever we are trying to create here. Okay, so let this just sink in for a few minutes. So turn off the heat, let this meat cool for a few minutes, because you're going to be rolling it with your bare hands. You need to let it cool for a few minutes. So I'm going to let my oil heat as I prepare the croquette biscuits. Make a dough with the mincemeat, the breadcrumbs, and the flour. So I'm going to just add in a little bit of flour. Add in a little bit of the breadcrumbs. Since I'm going to add in, just eyeball the baking powder, just a little bit. I don't want the biscuits to get so big, you know how it is with baking powder, right? So with this, I'm going to just mix it up with my hands. I still feel this is a little bit too much. I reduced the mixture of the flour and the breadcrumbs because I felt it was a little bit too much, but in case it's not enough, I'm going to add in some more. So with my hands, I'm going to be adding in the mince. Then mix this up. That sinks well. Add in some more mince. You have to get this to a dough, okay? So I'm going to mix this up completely. Add in some more dough, the mixture. So clearly, this is not enough. I'm going to need to add in some more breadcrumbs. And with that, I'm going to add in the breadcrumbs at the end stage before I dip them in the oil. So just go ahead and mix all this up. I'm looking to achieve such so that when they're pressed down, they become some small biscuits. So I've added in a little bit of some more flour and breadcrumbs. So this is what I'm doing. There. Just pick them and press them together. They should be able to give you the same. So as you can see, I've already pressed some of the balls into biscuits. This is what you first roll them into before you turn them into this. You'll notice some of them break, so I just pressed down a little bit to make it a biscuit. You'll notice they break, not to worry, just press it down a little bit. I also forgot one very important ingredient. You're going to need eggs. For this, I'm going to be using 2 eggs. Beat them up really nicely. So I'm going to be putting this in the egg, then into the breadcrumbs, back into the egg again, back into the breadcrumbs, and then fry them. Okay, I think that's okay. So dip the biscuit into the egg. Ensure it's well coated. Oops, it's breaking up. Ensure it's well coated. Then with this, you dip it into the breadcrumbs. Since I like mine more crispy, I'm going to be doing this again. I'm going to be dipping it back into the egg. Okay, see? Then back into the breadcrumb. With this, I'm going to be putting it inside the oil. Okay. I like this shape over here. This represents my love for my fans. I just need them to be golden brown, and as you can see, this is well achieved. So I'm going to just remove this from the head. Nice and crispy. So this is the final product. I have managed to make my crispy browned biscuits, and this is my favorite because it represents my heart. So let's go ahead and test it. So you can have this with whatever. You can have it with a drink, maybe soda, juice, tea. I think it augurs well with anything because it's basically just breadcrumbs and meat. So I would really love to see how you people create this recipe. You can tag me on my Instagram page _buju. I'll follow your Instagram page when you comment with your handle name on my YouTube, so I can go see how you have made this. So until next time, allow me to go and enjoy my crispy biscuits. Thank you for watching. Until next Tuesday, have fun and stay safe.